Hi, everyone. We'll get started pretty soon here. I just wanted to give some people a little bit of time to get into the class. Is everyone doing all right?
Hi, yes, doing good.
Oh, good. Good to hear.
Doing well.
Good. Yeah, this is weird times. I really appreciate everyone's flexibility and really doing amazing things to try to make this work right now. Just so you know, I've been working with the administration to open up the option for those of you who want to do credit, no credit. I just want to make sure that if I don't know if any of you are having a hard time with everything that's going on in life, that you have that option. I don't have any response yet as to whether or not we'll be able to do this, but hopefully we can do this for you so that, you know, if you want it, it'll be there for you, right? So give it a little bit more. We still have people who are coming in. Thanks, I love you guys too. Yeah, I'll try to do my best to make it not as impactful in a negative way as I can on you. I know how hard this is for all of us. So, yep. Thanks, I appreciate it. I think that they should let you do that for every class too. And that's actually what I proposed to the administration. Hopefully they will listen to us. You know, we're just faculty, right? But if you want to say the same thing to them, I think it would only be fair. I think what I wouldn't want to have happen is I wouldn't want your GPAs to suffer because of what's going on. So, you know, that said, I will definitely, I'll be a lot kinder in the grading, give you a lot more leeway in all the assignments, but I'd like you to have that option if you want it for credit, no credit. All right, I don't think anyone else is coming. It looks like most of us are here, and we're recording this for those who couldn't be here today. And I was able to figure out how to, after we're done with class, download the list of everyone who came, so you don't need to do anything except for be here, and you'll have credit for being here. And so, we do have more people who are just coming. So
yeah, I was gonna say I'm here.
Hi, Brianne, welcome. Yeah, we'll get a minute or two more, then we'll see if anybody else is still coming.
I know I just got home from work. So what were you talking about, the credit thing?
Yeah, so I was just saying to everybody that I submitted a request to the administration asking them to allow students who want to have the option of doing this pass, fail, or credit, no credit. I haven't heard back yet. I actually suggested that they do this with all of the classes, but especially with my class, and we'll see what they say. We'll see what they say.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, hopefully, I don't know. I think you guys will all do well, although who knows? I mean, some of you might be sick, or you might have family members who are sick, and it's a lot. So, yeah. All right. So that said, you might have noticed that I have, once again, given you a little bit more time on the exam. I had trouble getting it actually into Blackboard. And so the midterm exam is now not due until after we come back from spring break, and next week is spring break. There are no classes. So what is spring break, right? So the midterm exam is not due until after we come back from spring break. You have 2 hours to do the exam. There are 40 questions. Oops, see, it's not even showing in there yet. I'll make sure that it's showing in there. It should have been showing by now. There will be 40 questions in the exam, 2 hours. There it is. 2 hours worth 100 points. The material on which you'll be tested is all here in Blackboard. If you go to material on midterm exam, and I tried to put to record if I didn't have one, or find a video for every single one of the lectures that we went over. So the basics of entrepreneurship, there was a video for that. I had a video on how to give an elevator pitch. There's a couple questions on that. On the LinkedIn assignment, there's a video on using LinkedIn as an entrepreneur. Doesn't go specifically into the details of your assignment in the class, but it talks about LinkedIn in general in entrepreneurship. And there's a couple questions on the exam on that. There was that starting a business PowerPoint that we went over and a video. It's all there. The only thing I didn't have a video on was the knowledge, skills, abilities, experience, education, personality, and skills that are required for entrepreneurship. But if you go over the PowerPoint, that should be enough. I don't think that there's anything on there that are, maybe it might be worth having a video. Do you feel like you need a video on this as well? I could record one. What do you think? Here, let me go. I can't see what you guys say. Let me stop the share. What do you think? Do you think we should have, would you like me to record you a video for the keep slide as well?
I mean, why not? If you can, that'd be cool.
Okay, so yeah, I can do that for sure. I'll actually do it. I'll actually do it today. As soon as we get done here, I'll record it. I'll make sure to touch on any of the points that I know for sure are on the exam, and that way it should be helpful. So cool. All right, then I'll do that as soon as we're done here. Yeah, I may as well. There are a lot of slides in there. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. So that's pretty much it. And then trend spotting and entrepreneurial alertness. I think there is maybe 1 or 2 questions on this, but this is more relevant on the next exam. And when we're doing our assignment together in class, working with our teams, which we'll do once we get back from break. And then let me show you another thing. Go to course documents. The final exam materials, I went ahead and actually uploaded all of those as well. So if you want to get, or not all of those, almost all of those. So if you want to get a head start on watching some videos, I tried to record or modify any videos that I had so that you can use them for the final exam. Like I said, there's not everything in there. There's still, I think, 1 or 2 other small concepts that I need to add to that, but we'll do that soon. So that should all be on there. What else? Let's see. The assignments are all in there. If you, so we still have a couple of LinkedIn assignments to do. There are, remember the LinkedIn was 3 parts. The first part was building your profile, which those have all been graded, and you should be able to see those grades now. Tagging somebody in posts, and I think 2 posts you need to do. Yeah, 2 posts you had to tag somebody in, and then upload screenshots of comments. So we also wanted 3 comments. So it was 1, 2, and 3, 1 LinkedIn profile, 2 tagged photos, and 3 comments on somebody else's posts or somebody on something, just to show that you know how to do that. Now, everything right now is all virtual, and we have several different virtual events coming up. There's one coming tonight, and if you go to the this website here, the Rec Innovation Lab, it's at sdmiramar.edu/programs/entrepreneurship/REC. There are all virtual events that you can attend. And then, I see somebody said something in the chat. Thank you. Oh, how do you want us to do the tagged photos and comments? Would you want us to put, yes, screenshots. So screenshots of the virtual meetings. I'll explain that a little bit more. I'll come back to that. first of all, here are events. There's one tonight, forming a team. There's another one on, no, this one's on Fridays. That one's not available to everybody. There's Pilates. One of my entrepreneurship students is doing Pilates classes. If you wanted to do that as an event, you could do that. They're live Facebook Pilates classes. Next Tuesday, Jennifer Barnes, the CEO of Optima, is going to be talking about lessons she learned as an entrepreneur and when she lost ownership of her business. There's also events, virtual events on the Zip Launchpad website, as well as the Lavin website. And then back to what we were saying. So the LinkedIn, how do you do comments? So I see, let me see these chats. Some people are asking me things in the chat. So people are saying, yeah, book assignment still do the 13th. How do we do Pilates event? Okay, so let me answer these one by one. The first one is the book report assignment still due on the 13th? That is still due April 13th, but you can just choose one of the two books and you don't have to read both of them. And just a quick summary of the book is fine with me. Do I have instructions on that here? Let me double check. So it's due after spring break, I believe. You know, you don't have instructions on it here, so how would you know how to do this? Darn it, I thought I got everything in there. I have the new syllabus in there.
Professor?
Yeah, talk to me.
On the new syllabus, like you had like slight instructions for the book report, but yeah, you said that you would post onto Blackboard more detailed instructions. So I think we were just like waiting for that folder.
Yeah, that's not enough. I feel bad. So I'll extend the deadline on that for sure. I didn't realize that you didn't have those. So I'll fix that so you can see because I do have detailed instructions for those. And I'll give you a little bit more time. So
Perfect, thank you.
yeah, of course. Let's see, where do we have the deadline on this? Okay, so we have it. Yeah, let's make it due later. Like we can do it April 27th is fine when everything else is due. So I'll make it due April 27th. And I'll post the detailed instructions. You, again, don't have to read both books. I took all of the questions on the book reports off of the exams. And so all you have to do is pick one of those two books, whichever you prefer, to write your report on, and I'll give you detailed instructions on that. I thought they were in there. I'm so sorry. And then the Pilates event. So there is... yeah, the Pilates event is, there's a link in Blackboard. If you also go back to, where is that? They have it in the rec also. Yeah, there it is in the rec. Yep, here in the rec calendar, there's the Facebook link, and it's 10 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And this was my entrepreneurship student from a long time ago. I think she graduated maybe 6 or 7 years ago, but yeah, she's also teaching through her studio these classes for free while we're all sequestered in our homes and feeling maybe a little blue. So this hopefully will help people to feel better. So you can do that as an event. Now, the other question I saw was, oh, how do we post our tags? So the tags aren't necessarily the LinkedIn tags aren't necessarily for events that you went to, but they could be. It could just be, you know, any kind of, you know, any entrepreneurial type of post that you see out there. And I think in the LinkedIn assignment, it says here, yeah, screenshots of your profile showing different sections, including, oh no, that was the first one, tagged. Okay, screenshots of your post with someone tagged. So just 2 posts where you've tagged another human being, just to show that you know how to tag another human being. Try to keep them business posts, entrepreneurship posts. You know, any business though is fine, because LinkedIn is a business, you know, site, so it should be fine. You don't have to have gone to an event to tag somebody at that event. Well, you kind of do, right? How do you tag somebody without, yeah, going to something? Oh, maybe just tag one of your classmates if you read an interesting article in entrepreneurship, or I don't know how else you could tag someone. Or if you do go to that event tonight, the virtual event, you could tag the speaker, or you could tag one of your classmates. And everybody knows how to tag someone in LinkedIn. You have to use the little @ symbol and then put the name. So you have to already have been friends with that person. So make sure you have enough connections in there so that you can tag them. And then the comments. Now, I say at least one of the guest speakers from our class. Obviously, that is not relevant anymore because we only had 2 guest speakers, and you know, I had so many great guest speakers coming too, but oh well. Yeah, so just 3 comments from anyone. It could be to your classmates, to anyone. Okay, so let me read through here all the questions. If you have questions that you want to ask me, feel free to ask. I'm going to read also the chat. Book report is due on the 27th now. There's no other questions in the chat. Anybody else have any questions for me about anything? Could I go over the interview assignment? Yes, I can go over the interview assignment. And 6 p.m. Is going to be, the event tonight is Zoom. It is going to be that same Zoom. Oh, you actually, if you want to sign up for that event tonight, it might have a different Zoom. We better check. So you would log in to go to the event tonight. You would log into this website, right? You would click on tonight is forming the team, right? And then you would log in, or you would sign up with Eventbrite. I was already in there, but and then it'll show you the actual. There's Ryan. Register right here so we know how many people are coming. And then here it is. There's the link for the workshop right there. It's the same one. Okay. So then, okay, I was going to go over the interview assignment also. Interview assignment. And there's lots more. There's lots more virtual events throughout the semester. So if you can't go tonight, don't worry. It's okay. Oh, thank you for doing that, for sharing that on there. Okay. Thank you, thank you. So interview assignment is under assignments, obviously. You already did that. You already did interview. Interview assignment. Oh, I have more information on this too that I need to put. Okay, so oh, I'll definitely put more information. Right now, all that there is in there is a template. Now, this template is just for you to use. You don't have to include everything like the table of contents because it's a really short paper, right? But it's a good thing to kind of help you get going and see you know, what to include in there and how to cite things if you like citing interviews and things like that. But you know what's missing is the PowerPoint on this. So let me go ahead and put that PowerPoint into Blackboard. And then once I do that, it'll make a lot more sense to you by having that. Oh, you know what? I don't have it right here. You know, I'll put it in there. I'll put myself a note. I'll put it in there. And then we'll go over that when we come back together after spring break. In the meantime, if you, well, maybe that's not enough time. When does it due? Let's see. Oh, yeah, you have, it's not due until May 4th. I think that's plenty of time. We can go over it when we're back from class. It'll give you a whole month. So yeah, that should be plenty of time. Basically though, if you do want to talk to an entrepreneur in the meantime, just the questions that you'll be asking him or her are in that template, which are basically you're asking them about the business, right? How they recognize the opportunity, any challenges that they faced, and if they pivoted and how. And I always like to ask people if the business looks the same as today as they expected it to look when they first started. It's almost always no. People pivot quite a bit. And then the final section is just asking them to share any advice or to reflect on their experience. right? Do they think that do they enjoy the process? Do they think they would do it again if they're satisfied? Things like that. You can interview student entrepreneurs. You can interview people from the Zip Launchpad. You can interview people who, anyone who works for themselves, anyone who works as a freelance worker or who owns a big company. It doesn't matter as long as they have ownership, right? So somebody who sells jewelry on Etsy would be considered an entrepreneur, and you could technically interview that person if that's what interests you. Just has to be somebody who has ownership. And I'll put more, like I said, we'll go over it when we come back from break. But any other questions about anything while we're here?
I have a question.
Yeah, who's this?
Mark.
Hi, Mark.
So a couple questions. First of all, I know you already explained about the exam. And I do see the folder and everything, but when do you think you'll have it uploaded and ready to go?
I thought it was already in there, so I'll have to figure out what I did wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
It shows like an empty folder when you click on it, that's all.
Yeah, I just noticed that myself. So I don't know what exactly happened with that, but the
I
question.
think the PowerPoint for the interview one is on Slack instead of Blackboard.
I see. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for letting me. Was that Natalie? Let's see.
Yes, that was me.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't realize that. Aha, interview. Yes, you're right. Okay, well, I see they are all there. You are right. Okay, wonderful. Then I know where they are. Okay, then I'll go ahead and put those onto Blackboard as well.
And then also on Slack, I did message you yesterday. I don't know if you get notifications right away or do you not?
I do get notifications, but I am very far behind right now because of what's
Okay.
been going on. So yeah.
No, it was just about the exam. That's why I was curious if you do look at it or not.
I do. If you write anything, I do. I look at those just as regularly as I look at everything else. It's just that I'm getting a lot right now. So
No worries.
yeah. So you can message me in there though. I will look at it. So I can go over this just kind of quickly. Here, it's a short paper that you're writing. You're basically going to be asking the entrepreneur, like I said, those three things. These are what go on. This is the information that goes on the title page, which doesn't count towards those couple of pages. If you need to go over by a little bit, that's fine. Please don't give me an 8 or 10 page paper, because I do read every single paper, and it gets to be kind of a lot. So it's hard to get it clear and concise, but try to. And here are the three sections: about the business, the challenges they faced, and some reflection advice. And then you don't have to ask specifically these questions, but this is just, I mean, you do have to ask those header kind of questions about the business, etc. But you don't have to ask, like for example, what is a major challenge that you faced? You can just ask them about some challenges, to share some challenges and how they overcame them, etc. There are a couple of requirements that you do need to hit on. I do want you to include at least one photo. Now, I'm assuming that most of these interviews are going to be done remotely. They should be done remotely. Please don't go driving out into the world for this. Do it by email or phone or whatever you want. And you can take a photo from online, but do give credit, right? Cite the photo. And then basics of business writing. This is important. I just want to make sure everybody knows that you write in business in clear, concise writing. You write using the deductive approach. So you start with your topic sentence, your hypothesis, and then you support that, right? Every assertion that you make, you support it with evidence. So you might say something like, the entrepreneur said that running a business was very challenging, as evidenced by these challenges that she faced while starting her business. Or this is common in entrepreneurship. We see this often. And you don't have to cite outside or use outside sources, but if you do use them, you must cite them, both in text and then also in your works cited page. In business, we keep our paragraphs very short. A good rule of thumb is never more than 100 words per paragraph. 50 to 80 is ideal. Left justify, don't indent at the beginning of paragraphs. Primary thesis, always use headings. So I do want to see headings in the paper, and these are the headings, right? About the business, challenges faced, reflection, advice. Those are underlined, they're left justified. If you use the template that just tells you exactly how to do this. We do want single spacing inside the paragraphs, and then double spacing in between them, right? Oh, and then the introduction and conclusion. People have trouble with introduction and conclusions. They're not sure exactly what to write. Introductions in business papers should tell us what the paper is going to talk about, not a background of the company or a background of you or a background of whatever else you think you want to write a background on. Just tell us, in this paper, I will be talking to this person about these 3 things. And there's your introduction, right? Keep it that specific, right? Don't deviate too much. If you don't know how to cite, that's how you cite using Purdue OWL. So here's an example of citing, right? So if you're citing, I can't see anything because this is over here. If you're citing the interview itself, the interview, you would say the last name of the person that you spoke with. If the only thing that you ever cite is the interview and you don't use any outside sources, you can just do 1 citation per section is appropriate, right? So at the end of each section in text, right? If you do use outside sources, this is how you would use it. It tells you how to do this, right? Here's a sample of the work cited, not in text, but at the end, right? How you would do this. That's pretty much that. Questions, comments, concerns?
Question. When reaching out to people, for example, on LinkedIn, and you can't really message them, what do you suggest that we say? Like, because it has to be short and sweet because it's a specific amount of characters.
So are you talking about reaching out to somebody that you've never met before? Or who are you talking about reaching out to?
Like for the interview one, how would you reach out to someone like
So
entrepreneur that you have never talked to before?
it's best if you reach out to somebody that you have a mutual connection and say, hi, we have a mutual connection. This is the mutual connection. I'd like to interview you for a school assignment, you know, over email or phone, right? Or remotely, something like that. Just keep it straight to the point, short and sweet. If you have a mutual connection, you'll have a lot better chance of actually getting them to say yes. But if not, just play the student card, right? I'm a student, I need help. And they'll usually help you. Yeah. Does that answer your question, Natalie? Or?
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, let me see. Can we interview a relative? Yes, you can interview a relative. In fact, sometimes that's a good way to earn brownie points with a family member or something, right? Say, I want to interview you for this for this paper. Go for it. You know, hey Dad, can I interview you? It's totally fine. I love reading those. So, and I really love reading these, and I appreciate, I know there's still lots of work for you to do right now, but I feel like it'll still be valuable for you, and I hope it will be. And if you're really stressed out about anything or you need extra time for anything, just tell me and I'm happy to work with you. I don't want you to be stressed out any more than need be. So yeah, I know a lot of us are stuck at home, so we're actually getting things done that maybe we wouldn't get done before. So I don't know, maybe that's one good thing. Right. 2 to 3 pages is fine for the page count. Even if you wanted to do, you know, 4 or 5 is okay, just not much more than that. Try to keep it short and to the point. So thank you. You're welcome. I'm happy to help.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does the table, like you're talking about for the pages, does the table of contents count as the page, or you're talking about after the table of contents?
After the table of contents. And in fact, you don't even need to include the table of contents.
Yeah.
If you want, you can, but no, it doesn't count. And the pictures don't count if you put pictures at the end.
Yeah.
Pages. It's just the writing, right? Just the writing that counts.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, my pleasure. Yeah. Any other questions at all from anyone?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I don't know who this is though. I'm sorry, I can't see.
oh, I'm sorry. Here, I'll turn on my video.
Oh, cool. Hi,
This is Ryan. So,
Ryan.
like, if I'm going to interview somebody and then they're going to give me a bunch of, so I was just going to do it on like maybe Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, yeah.
I know a friend of mine who is a business owner and started several businesses.
Cool.
And so I'll just type out the questions and then he'll reply with answers. And so I'll build my paper with his answers.
Exactly.
And that's it.
That's it. You don't want, what I don't want you to do though is just give me a transcript of the question answer question. You know, that's not the paper, right? You have to digest it, right? So say, oh, I spoke with this person over Facebook and this is what we said. And this is what, you know, it has to be digested, not just transcript. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so a transcript would be like you writing out, this is the question and this is the answer. This is the question, this is the answer. I'll show you here. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. So if you go to the template, you see here. So here are the different sections, right? So if you were to write a transcript, you might say, like the question is, how did you start the business? Right? And then write down the answer. I do not want that. That's just a transcript, right? Instead, I want you to write, I spoke with this person and this is how he started the right? And this is how he started the business, right? So I want it to actually be in your words, not just a transcript of what the person said. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay, I could do that.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions from anyone about?
Sorry, I had another question based off of his then.
Okay, was this William?
Yeah. So like if he gets like would he just take pictures of the messages like that he has on Facebook for like the picture part?
No, the picture is, I actually want you to give me something to look at in terms of this is the entrepreneur, this is the business, this is, you know what I mean? Like,
So just like a picture of them and maybe a picture of like the name of their business or something? Or
sure, something that's interesting that adds value.
okay.
Right? I don't just want to see just some random snapshot of something. Like if you're talking about somebody who started a motorcycle company, maybe you'll show a picture of that person riding a motorcycle, right? Or if you're starting somebody who started a taco shop, maybe then a picture of the taco shop, right? You know what I mean? Like make sure the picture adds value. Don't throw something in there, right?
All right.
Yeah. Other questions? Oh, roster number. Sorry, you don't need to worry about your roster number. I removed that because we're all, you know, it's remote now, so it really doesn't matter. That was for when I was doing things with paper. So where it asks for roster number, don't worry about putting that at all. So you're welcome. Any other questions from anybody else? So next week is spring break. We're not going to be getting together, so we won't be getting together until the week after that, and then we'll just all come together again in class on, sorry, I don't remember the date of that. What is that date? That date is, okay, so spring break is, so we'll be coming together on April 6th. April 6th is the next time we come together. And that's also when the midterm is due. So if you had any issues with the midterm over the break, don't freak out. Don't think like, I have to get time, you know, call her in the middle of the night to get her to fix this. I mean, if you want to call me, you can, but it's okay. We can always, you know, fix it after the fact because we have another class together before it's actually due. So if we needed to change anything or do something with it, we can. So don't worry, is my point. We'll fix any problems that you know, come up if they do come up. Other questions from anybody? Have a great, yeah. I see people leaving. I'll see you guys all in a couple weeks. All right, bye. Have a good spring break. I hate saying have a great spring break because it's such a weird time right now, but have the best spring break possible. All right, take care. Stay safe and stay well.
Thank you. You
all.
too.
Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. And I see some new chats. I think people are just saying bye. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Mwah. See you in a couple weeks. Enjoy your break. Bye.